Welcome back to Cord Cutting Today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting, including today. Another major streaming service is shutting down and merging to another one. We'll tell you which one and why this is probably not the end of what we're going to see of maybe many streaming services shut down in 2024. ESPN, Fox, and Warner Bros. Discovery owned channels are going to be coming to a Max soon. You're going to soon be able to pay extra to watch ESPN through Max. I'll tell you what you need to know about that. And AT&T is offering one-time credits for their outage last week. We'll tell you how much if you qualify, because not everybody qualifies for it. These stories and a whole lot more coming up in a quick minute. If you're new here, though, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, let YouTube know you enjoy what we do here, so YouTube recommends our videos to more people, helping us grow, helping us expand, and hopefully helping you break free from the high cost of TV, but still watch the shows you enjoy. And we'll put a link to each story I talk about in the show notes and in the first pinned comment. All right, let's dive into it. Warner Bros. Discovery reported that their earnings, not all of it was great. They did technically report a profit in their streaming department. Now, they're kind of putting all of the HBO profits into that, which can raise questions about how true that really was. But they did announce that Motor Trend Plus, their subscription TV service focused on cars and automobiles and all kinds of things like that, will be shutting down soon at the end of March 2024, and its content will be merging into Discovery Plus. If you're a Motor Trend customer, your subscription will just roll in at the same price to Discovery Plus, and now you're going to get all the Discovery Plus content with that. Some Motor Trend content is going to be coming to Max, which will include but not limited to Top Gear America, Roadkill, Texas Metal, and Hot Rod Garage, and more, all included with that. So you're going to see more Max content available, or more Motor Trend content on Max. But all of it will go to Disney Plus. Or Disney Plus, Max, I'm sorry, reading and talking. But with this, I think this is just the first of many streaming services that will shut down in 2024. We already heard rumors of Freevee, Amazon denied it. Will it happen, won't happen? We'll see what happens there. But the truth is, many of these services are struggling to become profitable, and companies are at the point where they're done putting money into losing streaming services. And that's why I think Motor Trend is shutting down. It was a very nichely targeted audience there, and I think they're hoping that now for the same price you get Discovery Plus. It helps push up Discovery Plus subscriptions and help Discovery Plus become more profitable. We'll see how that works. It does mean one less app to maintain, one less all kinds of different, behind the scenes technical things that need to happen to keep that service running, that now you can move staff and efforts into Discovery Plus that are being split between multiple streaming services. Look for that to become more and more common. Paramount shut down Noggin. That will be closing here reportedly soon. Not officially announced, but apparently the staff have all been let go and the skeleton crew there is closing up shop. Look for this to become more and more a trend. There's just not a reason for a lot of these smaller services. They're not profitable. It's time to merge them into the bigger ones, Noggin into Paramount Plus, and Motor Trend into Discovery Plus. Let me know if this has affected you. Did you subscribe to Motor Trend? I'd love to hear from you. All right, we talked about this briefly last week, but ESPN, Fox, and Warner Bros. Discovery will soon be available in a bundled version with Max. If you didn't miss my breaking news video last week, this was confirmed during the Warner Bros. Discovery earnings call on Friday, where they announced you'll be able to pay an additional bundle fee to be able to watch ESPN, FS1, Big Ten Network, Fox, ABC, and other networks live through Max as part of a bundle deal. Now, this service will also include its own standalone app. It's also been reportedly planned to be merged or offered as a bundle into Hulu. We'll see how that all plays out. Details have not fully been announced on pricing and others with this. But we do now know for sure you'll be able to take your Max subscription and add this there. One of the things I speculated about last week, and I think it'll be interesting to see, is will there be different pricing tiers in this? We see this with NFL Sunday Ticket. If you are a YouTube TV subscriber, you get a little discount on NFL Sunday Ticket. If you're not, you get it through YouTube, you pay a little bit more. In order to try to drive Max subscriptions and Hulu subscriptions, could they do something similar here? And actually, I would be surprised if they didn't. But we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. Let me know, would you subscribe to that? Leave me a comment. All right, last week, Thursday, AT&T had a massive outage. It went for many hours, one of the largest outages that have happened in recent memory of a wireless network. It knocked AT&T's customers offline, reportedly because of a failed update to the system that went wrong. I would hate to be the technician that was in charge of that update and knock the system off from about 4 a.m. Eastern to about 1 p.m. Eastern. But AT&T has now announced that customers affected by this, some customers, I'll get to that in a minute, will get a $5 credit per account, not per line. So if you have 5 lines on your phone plan, you're only getting one $5 credit. That'll happen one time. Now, the other catch here is this only applies to AT&T wireless accounts, not AT&T business accounts or AT&T prepaid customers, which includes Cricket for this. At this moment, we'll see if they come up with something different for that later. AT&T has about 87 million postpaid customers, 19 million prepaid customers, and 7 million reseller accounts. This makes them the third largest provider of wireless services behind Verizon and T-Mobile. $5. That enough for that big outage? I'll be interested in, I didn't do the math, but what's the average AT&T wireless plan? Divide by how many days in a month, and what does that work out to? But I think a lot of people were upset that it was per account, and if you're somebody with a lot of kids or family members on a large account, businesses for now are not getting anything, prepaid customers aren't getting anything. Let me know, should they? Or, let's be honest, AT&T has been overall amazingly reliable, and what makes this so big news is the fact that it's so rare that we see such a massive outage. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think. All right, I have an opinion piece up I wanted to bring attention to everybody if you're interested in reading more about this, but there's been a lot of talk that Paramount Plus and Peacock are in talks to merge. Now, the companies are not merging. Comcast and Paramount will remain independent companies, but they're looking to do a jointly ventured merger deal. A lot of talk that this isn't finalized. Everything from a fully relaunched new service combined to the two to just a bundle discount. I've heard both ways. I've heard they're actually leaning a little closer to a bundle deal. That'll be a new app where you get everything in one app instead of a bundle deal where you have to jump back and forth between 2 apps. Warning with that though, this deal is not finalized. A lot of things are still in moving pieces. This is still in the early phases. But I've talked a bit about this, and I sat down and wrote out a full breakout about how this is really about sports. You have Fox, Warner Brothers, Discovery, and Disney all teaming together for a sports streaming service. There's 2 big remaining sports companies out there, NBC Universal and Paramount. Well, now they're coming together, and you could have basically 2 streaming services that could give you the vast majority of sports on the market. This newly merged Peacock Paramount Plus would give you most of the sports on NBC and CBS. And then you would also have this joint venture that would give you all the ESPN, Disney Sports Networks, Fox Sports Networks, and Warner Bros. Discovery sporting content. That could really change the world of sports. And I would say, I know that a big part of this is also about becoming profitable for all of them, but a big part of this is about changing the world of sports, one of the few things people still pay for to watch live, cutting out the middleman, going direct to the consumer to take all the profit in. Keep a close eye on this. I think sports will be a main focus of this new service, but not the only focus. If you want to read more about that and learn more about that, I'll put a link to it in the show notes down below. Are you one of the millions of Americans trapped into paying for cable television? Millions of Americans have no choice where they live but to pay for cable television because it's included in the rent on their apartment or with their HOA fees. Their only options would be to move if they wanted to try to cancel. And this is really one of the main reasons why cable TV is still being as successful as it is, because millions of people have no options to pay if it happens to be in their HOA or it happens to be in their apartment rent. There's been some pushes to make that illegal, nothing serious so far, but that's the question of the day. Should cable companies be able to strike deals with apartment complexes at HOA and that forces everybody to pay for it? They're arguing you get a better deal than if you went directly through them. Other people argue, well, I never would pay for your cable TV service, so it's really not a better deal. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think on this. This is a pretty straightforward thing. I got a breakdown, but there's 355,000 HOAs, representing 40 million housing units. Not all of them obviously have bundled cable TV. And there's millions of apartments out there, with some of them also having bundled deals. Exact numbers are unknown, but it's easily in the tens of millions with this. So leave me a comment, let me know what you think. Have you ever been trapped into paying for cable TV because it was included in HOA or included in rent? Let me know. All right, I did a breaking news video on this last weekend, but it's a big story. Amazon's rolled out an update, AFTV News spotted this, that's disabled some powerful tools that prevents the Fire TV apps from doing some key things like altering the home screen on a Fire TV. Now this has broke some apps, others are unaffected, most major apps are not, some small ones including apps that do things like change the way the behavior of the home screen is. Amazon said this is a security update. If you want to learn more about this change, why your Fire TV may be acting a little strange, I'll put a link to the story, and in there is also a video where I break down everything that's part of our breaking news series. And lastly, before we get into the question of the day, Friendly TV is finally officially rolling out their new home screen, the newly rolled out app. Now, you know, a few weeks ago, I broke the news that Friendly TV was rolling out a new redesigned app that included a home screen. Traditionally, Friendly TV starts at a few dollars a month, gives you live TV channels, would always default to its guide. Now it's going to a more traditional home screen with suggested content and your DVR stuff there. You can still select a guide on it, but the home screen is like a new hub, very similar to what you see with like YouTube TV, Netflix, Hulu, and others. So let me know what you think of it. It's rolling out to new devices and will be on most major streaming players in the weeks to come. All right, let's dive into the question of the day. If you have a question for me you want me to answer, and I know a lot came in over the weekend, please re-ask it. Sometimes people ask on weekends, but I don't record until for my Monday video for a few days. Re-ask your question. But today's question I thought was a great one. Who allowed cable TV companies and others to advertise with hidden fees in the first place? This is a common question. And the upset nature of this is cable TV companies advertise this like $60, 250 channel package, but when you actually get the bill, it's $150, 100 this, 100 that. You know, it's way over what you expected. And that's because there's things like broadcast television fees, HD technology fees, regulatory recovery fees. The list goes on, device rentals, and more. And one of the things I always really thought was the worst of them was the broadcast television fee, because they advertise local stations as part of the package, but then they charge as much as, depending where you live, as $30 additional for that. You have a regional sports fee for a channel, again, advertised in the package. They advertise HD as part of the package, but it includes an HD technology fee, which is on top of that. So who allowed them? Well, no one didn't allow them to not do it. There's no law against it, and like most things, I think what happened here is we saw creep, right? Cable companies and other companies were looking for ways to get more money. They didn't want to raise their price because then it makes them not look as good as their competitors, so they start doing things like, oh, here's a fee. And it starts small, right? $1, $2. Well, a few years later, before you know it, it's $10, $15, $20 and more. And we've seen some where $40, $60 additional fees are added to cable TV bills from the advertised price. The FCC is pushing back against this. They have a proposal that they're going to vote on in March that would require the full true cost of the service to be included in the advertising. We'll see how that plays out. It's widely expected this will pass and be challenged in courts, so it could be some time before it comes reality. Well, that's it for today. If you have a question you want me to answer, leave a comment down below. Start off with something like a question for Luke, and I'll do my best to answer them in the comments down below or in a video like this. If I didn't answer your question, please re-ask it. I hope you have a fantastic day. I'll talk to you all real soon. Take care. Be safe. I'll see you tomorrow.